Good afternoon again from Elmley. We're back for our Sunday adventure. It's very bright today, so we're going to be fighting a lot of heat haze. Coming over the bridge, the Sheppey crossing, it was too late by then. I noticed a cow flock on the left of the bridge had some little white birds, so I knew they were going to be cattle egrets. So I went over and came back quickly along the main bridge. The Kingsray Bridge has been closed a couple of times. Luckily it was open, so I managed to grab a few seconds of footage of the cattle egret over here. And before I came down, I did a few seconds of a buzzard. There's going to be a load of heat haze. My camera's going to struggle in this. We're still going to have a good time. The wind is low, so maybe there's going to be a good chance of reedlings. I just noticed these apples here in this tree. Tasty. So, yeah, it's a good little start. We'll get on the main track and see what else is going on. So we're off to a flying start at the moment. We just drove into the reserve, and first thing we were greeted with was a quick pass by marsh harrier. By the farmhouse, the old entrance track, there's been linnets, goldfinch, house sparrows, pied wagtails, there was a yellow wagtail top of one of the barns there. And over there on that new wooden building on the roof, there's lots of swallows have been, I don't know, preening, collecting bugs that have been going on there. Anything else? Yeah, all the sand martins and swallows are flying around here on the grass. So a good collection of stuff so far. Yeah, filmed a meadow pipit as well. So we're building up a species count already. Good stuff. I've been informed as well that there are a lot of curlew that have been released, so we'll be bumping into those today. But we have to be careful because they're going to be young and inexperienced about things, especially cars. So we've had the first kestrel of the day hovering around here. It's resident in this area. I've had it having a dust bath here before and caught a rodent over by the cattle grid. Then a cormorant coming in. Just thought I'd film it just in case not much happens today and I need to bulk up my footage a bit. Apologies again about the quality. There's a lot of heat haze, so it's going to affect quality. It's going to be a lot of record stuff today. Herd of cows over there. I did say a flock of cows on the first video, so apologies for that. It's a bit of a tell us you're bird obsessed without telling us you're bird obsessed. I can definitely see white birds, so there are cattle egret over there with them. We won't be seeing those anytime close today, I don't think. Oh well, we can only hope. So we're off down to the hides. My big golfing umbrella is up because I don't like wearing suntan lotion, as I've said before. All those chemicals, it's a faff putting it on anyway. I don't like it. So I like to get it in little 5 minutes exposure sessions. And in the meantime, the umbrella's going up. There's not that many people to look at me and give me funny looks. Here it's quite empty. I'll give you a little spin around. Yeah, the track is so quiet. I mean, there are lots of buzzards about, but they're all sitting on posts and heat haze is just killing it. There was even one in this field just now. I had a couple of little egrets flying towards me. I had to really ramp up the aperture, but to put it, the aperture to 25 to compensate for the very white bird and the strong sun. And again, with a sleeping swan in one of the little rivers just floating Yeah, and even in that, with it being quite close, it was still rippled with heat haze. It's a little windy. It said 2-3 miles an hour. It feels a little windy. But we just had a message on the WhatsApp group. One of those, what are they called? Parasols. Those parachute with a propeller on the back. One man thing. Oh, I've seen it with two people. It came through. He flew down over the seawall really low and scared all the birds off from one of the hides. The things you want to do to people like that in your mind, but you don't, because there are 3 prisons on this island for people like that. So apart from the wind blowing the reeds all over the place, I've got some semi-decent footage of a sedge warbler. So after last week not seeing one or photographing one for the whole year as of yet, I suddenly got some great opportunity when I assume a father and son were looking at the bushes, and I did, just, what do you see? And then I said, is it reed or sedge? And they said sedge. So it's funny because I didn't know the sedge warbler made that similar kind of sound. When it's not singing, it was doing that kind of guttural, throaty call, that it sounds very reed warbler-like. So I got off a few shots as well and some windy footage. But the hides in about 10 minutes. We'll have a look for the corn bunting and yellow wagtails, and hoping, even though it's a bit windier than I was expecting, for some reedlings. But I've been saying that the last few visits, and I saw something. It could be a reed or sedge warbler. Yeah, probably reed. Anyway, so while I've got the hide all to myself finally, Royal Marsh hide, I better do a catch up. So we've had, we caught a reed bunting before we came in. Looks like a juvenile, just out on the reeds there, before the seawall. Just a brief pass by the trainer Spitfire. You probably just about see through the heat haze the 2 bubbles from the cockpit. Yeah, this hide is going to be our saviour today. There's quite a lot happening. First and only thing I've got of real note has been a couple of ruff in their summer plumage feeding over there. I'm hoping maybe we'll go flyby or a bit closer, but we've got the usual. We've got shelduck, young lapwings, lots of avocets, adults, juveniles. You've got the adults chasing off other birds, like usually it's juvenile shelducks. And then you see an adult walk past, and the avocet ain't going to do that. It's double the size of the avocet. So a bit of a bully there, and then it met its match. So I'm just checking, some sort of wagtail flew over there. I'm just trying to get as much anything that flies. I'm just trying to capture little bits of that to make it a bit different from previous videos. Just off behind that, I've just covered myself in cobwebs leaning out this window here. The corn bunting likes to sit on the bushes at the back here. So I've got some, I didn't even have to go all the way to 800 millimeters. I was like 500 millimeters and recorded a bit of it. Its song. Wagtails flying around. I'm just trying to keep an eye, see if any, because sometimes they like to land here on the mud and I get a bit of footage of them. Lots of black-tailed godwits. And we're just hoping for eventually for maybe some snipe. A couple of marsh harriers in the distance. We had some geese flying over. But yeah, it's quieter than previous weeks. I'll probably do some audio, separate audio using my Rode mic plugged into my other phone, just to, because there's going to be a lot of overlay because of closing of windows, people talking, and then the noise from my lens, the image stabilizer, gets picked up when it's this quiet. I have actually come to a conclusion. I could try a little trick and put my DJI mic on the end of the lens if I really want to isolate a bird song. I'll have to ramp it up, the gain in post afterwards, but it will clear off a lot of that humming and buzzing from the image stabilizer. I think that's the catch up now. So we're just going to, at the moment, we're just going to carry on with any kind of fighting or flight shots or singing or shouting, aggressive behavior, anything unusual. What time is it? Oh, no, my phone's there. Let's get my other phone. This is not great footage. Other phone. Oh, it's 10 to 2, so we've got loads of time. We're going to sit in here. I think this is the best we're going to do. We're covered. We've got drink. We've got a cup of tea. We've got water. I will say, when you come to Elmley, I spoke to a couple of ladies last week on the track who said they were a bit thirsty and how far is the hide. If you come to the hide, make sure you bring some sort of, maybe a cap. I brought, like you see on my previous clip, a bit of big umbrella, golfing umbrella with the little air vents in it so it doesn't get blown away. And this literally covered me from head to where my socks were. So, I mean, I'll get a little bit of sun, but get one of those and you'll feel 10 degrees cooler because the heat will wipe you out. Bring a flask filled with some cold filtered water or whatever water, crush some ice in it so it stays cold for several hours. And you're good to go. Tissues. Yeah, be prepared. I've taken several years to get this right. Sometimes I get here and go, why didn't I bring that? Anyway, so that's a good catch up. Well, got a little bit more action in the end from Wellmarsh. I found a greenshank just by chance. It was going back and forth between the islands on the left. And then eventually it came out and had a preen in full view. Even I still had to go to 800 millimeters to fit it in. And I also found a snipe, common snipe, in the same place on that same strip of mud from last week. So 3 rough, 1 snipe, and a common green shank. Fantastic. And also had some great opportunities to film. So I just had to throw the camera down for a second there. A water vole just went across, a few seconds of it. I was really mucking around with the exposure to get it, but I think I've got it decently sharp enough. It just went down behind that bit of fencing there in the water. So it's good my reflexes are on point. So yeah, yellow wagtail gave me some great footage. And there was a point where everything got scared up by something. Loads of Canada geese, loads of grey lag geese. I don't know what it was. But yeah, there were some passes for us from some marsh harriers in the distance. I don't know if it was them or if it was the safari truck that set everybody off. Yeah, so many things I have to remember to keep up with. Yeah, before I even got in the hide, there was a darter or a red dragonfly. I'm no good with those things. And it conveniently landed in a place that showed it really well. So I did some filming of that. I'll always, anything that lands in front of me and is easy to film alive, I will film it. It won't just be birds, any kind of mammals, insects, anything. And then the other thing was, while I was in the hide earlier, these 2 aircraft were, I don't know, they performing for an air show or something. They were all practicing. They were flying really close together, like looked at one point like they were inches apart from tapping wingtips. And I thought they might do that, and thought I might film it in case something happens. There's dragonflies everywhere, great. And yeah, so let me see if I've caught up. The aircraft, the data, I think that's it. If not, then I'll probably be adding it to another bit of footage when we go on the track. Just doing our last circuit of the main track. I've just come out the front gate. I'm gonna go all the way up to the farmhouse again and go back. Nothing much happened, except there have been lots of raptors on the ground, and what should have been some really great photography, video, unfortunately, because of the heat haze, has not resulted in great footage. But I don't know what it is. I think the heat is just keeping the raptors on the ground, grabbing bugs. I have no idea what they're doing. I didn't see them eating anything, but they're on the ground looking for stuff. So there's a couple of marsh harriers in the distance there. And yeah, there's quite a lot of kestrels hunting. I assume the juveniles have now all fledged and are out hunting on their own, because it does seem to be a lot more than normal. So hopefully one more circuit, we'll go up to the farmhouse and see if there are any owls out, and then a slow ride back before the 6 o'clock shut time. So I had a good day, decent enough. It's better than going to work or sitting on the sofa. So just coming up to the end of the day, I've got about 25 minutes to the reserve closes. I'm just checking on short-eared owls, which there aren't any. So we'll give it 5 more minutes. We've seen one of the curlew over there. Kestrel on a post there. Lots of Still a lot of sand martins and barn swallows going around, not as many as last week. Yeah, so I thought all the pheasant chicks had grown up, but they seem to be having more broods. I've got some little fluffy, tufty, cuddly little ones that if my wife was here, she'd want to steal and take home. So it's good to know they're still having more and more. And then little skylark to end the day on. It seems the sand martin are gathering on the cables again over there by the farmhouse. Oh, there's a moorhen literally right underneath the camera. Oh, 2 moorhen. 1 more moorhen, and we'll have 3 moorhen. Shut up, Justin. Well, there it is, folks. Never write a day off. Just at the start saying, oh, the weather's going to be too windy or hot, or there's going to be too much sun causing heat haze. You never know how it's going to end. That was a heck of an end in 10, literally, probably not even 10, probably 7 minutes before closing. I got to the final gate. And what's that? There's something sort of walking across. Of course, there's going to be a hedgehog. Something really low down, looks like a brick walking across off the main path. So I quickly flicked the car to an angle and stuck the camera out and took some footage. And I just stuffed it. I left the engine running, the podcast running, and I'm going to have to overlay some sounds from somewhere else because I didn't want to miss anything happening. But my gosh, it's been a while since I've seen a hedgehog, and that's just, it's funny because I was driving down the main path with a smile on my face, just saying, you know what, I've got enough to make a video. Anything can happen. If I don't, I'm always hopeful that there's going to be one little final thing. And if it doesn't happen, they say, Justin, what happens if it happens or it doesn't happen? It's like, I don't care. It's like, I've had a good day. But if it does, I'm always hopeful. And something does pop up, usually. So mega happy. And anyway, so we filmed the hedgehog going over, I'm assuming maybe over to the river to have a drink. And then I saw what I thought might have been a stoat, but it was a rabbit, ran into the grass. And then I saw it around the path chasing a stoat. What? That's not the way it's supposed to go. It's supposed to be the stoat chasing the rabbit. Maybe the stoat was after a younger rabbit and the adult came out and went after it. And I only just got 2 seconds and it was over. I would have stayed for longer if I wasn't running on empty with the gate closing. So I'll slow that down and it will give you 3 or 4 seconds and you'll see it. The rabbit's definitely chasing the stoat. But my gosh, what a day. Another great roundup. Happy bunny. So I'm going to, oh, what's that? Is that some barn swallows landing. Shall I try a little bit of video and footage? So video and footage are the same thing. A couple of pictures and some video, but this light's a bit tough. But you're not going to beat what I just saw.